All good?
All good,
Are you playing today, are you?
well, I'm available for selection, like, so I don't
Uh,
know yet.
what
But
time do you head away at?
probably head about 3 o'clock. No, about 2:45 we're leaving.
Ben was in the chat there, going mad. This just a wee chat just surrounding their mental health and football, stuff like injuries and that, and losing games and winning games and things like that. So I'll just ask you questions to you and just answer them as you go along. We'll just have a general chat. I shouldn't keep you too long anyway.
Dead on, no worries.
So yeah, start by just introducing yourself, just who you play for, what position you play.
Yes, dead on. My name's Traynor. I play for Coleraine. Playing left back at the minute. So yeah, just been a Coleraine now for I guess my 4th season. Really enjoyed it. So all things are going well.
Yeah. Do you enjoy playing for Korean?
It was one of them ones I never thought I would ever play for Coleraine just because
Yeah.
of the distance and stuff, but since I've been up, I've been well looked after and we've been relatively successful. So it's been very enjoyable.
Was there any key points that made you sign for them, the fans, manager, etc.?
I think it's the year they beat in the final by
Mm-hmm.
Linfield and finished third. It sort of put them on the map as a team up and coming.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if anything, that was the main reason because they were in Europe and stuff and because they were going places.
yeah. Ben Dot wants to know, is it anything to do with your pizza addiction? No,
to be
go ahead.
to be fair, since I went up to Coleraine, I think we've had I don't know if it's 1, 2, 3 sessions of pizzas per week. It's been madness.
Where's your go-to pizza place?
There's loads of places in Belfast at the minute that have
Yeah,
Goodfellas. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it, but Goodfellas in Kennedy Way, and
yeah,
there's a place
yeah,
called Pizza Guys.
yeah,
People have
yeah. I've
probably
heard of
seen
that
me
one.
put them up.
Heard of that one.
People probably see me put them up, and they're the two hot spots at the minute.
One more question before we get into the serious questions. Pineapple on pizza.
No chance.
Yes, yes,
no
chat.
chance.
Told you. No, we were having this debate for half an hour there about pizzas, and if you look at his Instagram stories, he gets 3 or 4 pizzas a day.
You can't. I get chili sauce on my pizza and stuff. You can't put chili with pineapple.
No, bro, no.
Jalapenos and pineapple. Nah,
No.
it's a definite no for me.
So yeah, like yourself, you've had a recent injuries and stuff. How do you feel whenever you get like I have an injuries myself. I got my football career cut quite short at the age of 20. I done my ACL on my right knee. Then I got operated on and came back, and then I was playing football over in England for a while, and then I did my ACL on my left knee as well. How did you feel like going through injuries whenever you're watching the team playing well, or are you worried about getting back in the team, things like that?
Injuries are probably, to be fair, I never experienced them until I done my ACL a few years back, and for me, it was like an ACL is not an injury that most people can come back from
Yeah.
quite easily, if you know what I mean. So for me to get hit with one of the hardest injuries to come back from, being one of the first injuries was tough.
Yeah.
But like everything, if you have to knuckle down and put the work in, and if you don't, then you'll not see the benefits, and if you do, then you'll come back hope stronger. And to be fair, I've come back and it's never sort of flared up again. So I must
Yeah.
have done something right.
How do you cope with it mentally? Like being obviously you couldn't with the ACL injury like myself, you couldn't really be as active as you can be. What did you do much things to keep yourself busy? Or obviously you have children yourself, so they probably kept you quite busy.
Sienna, my wee daughter, first one, she was born in August, and I done my ACL in October.
Yeah.
So if anything, it was sort of a blessing in disguise. Do you know what I mean? Making me be able to spend more time with her.
Yeah.
And then just you do your usual rehab and stuff, and you do everything else you can. But if anything, she was my wee bit where I could just look back on, no matter how bad the days were or the rehab was.
Yeah.
She always put your wee smile in the face and get you going again.
See, whenever I did my second, and I tore my ligaments my second time on my knee, that was never I had all the treatment and stuff done, and then because I'm diabetic myself, it takes extra time to heal. So that's the doctor told me that I couldn't play football competitively, and at the time it broke me like for months. Like still to this day it hurts me a wee bit, but I can still play five-a-side and things like that. But no, I think it made me a stronger person. Try to like at that point, football was just my life. Like I had nothing else. But then it opened up a lot more doors for me. So that's what I was saying to people. If you do get an injury, it could ruin your. There is other options out there to kind of go into.
I think it does. It puts stuff into perspective, like you said. For me, I had a year out from football, and to be fair, I think we finished sixth or something. I can't actually remember.
Yeah.
So it was a sort of lucky year. It was sort of the 3 or 4 up and up there. It was probably the one that was struggled in the most. So,
yeah.
and then I had the wee one there, and Christmas and stuff coming up, her first Christmas and stuff like that. So
They're actually adorable, by the way. I was showing my fiance the photos of, obviously not stock, sounds bad me stalking Instagram, but because she's a wee one herself, I've shown her photos of your wee ones. They're so cute, so adorable.
I mean, I don't know whose genes I got them off. People say the maths, people say me, but I think the wee ones look like her more often. They all got the looks from her. I think they've got my
But you're not a bad
personality.
looking chap yourself. No, you know what I mean? I've been saying that in my stream as well.
I think they've got my personality because they're two wee cheeky chaps. So
Yeah. No, that's good to hear, man.
Right.
What about the likes of, like, obviously losing games and stuff? Obviously, Coleraine, even at the start of the season or last seasons, they've gone on the bad runs of form where they're maybe not picking enough points, or they're losing games and things just aren't going well. How do you cope with that on the mental side of things? Like, obviously, whenever I lose games, I go into my own kind of wee world, and even if I'm watching Coleraine and they lose, it kind of ruins my weekend. How do you go about kind of fighting against that?
For me, I probably am a wee bit of a sore loser.
Mm-hmm.
It will beat me up. I'll sit and look at the table. I'll look at maybe the highlights. I'll look back where we could have improved on. And even as a team and me, even if I have a great game, I'll always be thinking, could I have done a wee bit more?
Yeah.
Maybe could I have helped someone else out? So now you'll always put yourself under pressure, and that's a good thing. I think the day you stop putting yourself under pressure and the day you stop caring is maybe the day that you probably shouldn't be playing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you almost use it as your motivation to kind of improve for the next game.
And I know there's a few boys in Coleraine. I know Doogie mentioned it recently. Like, he actually does just play for fun. It's his escape, and he doesn't put himself under much pressure, and he doesn't worry about it too much. What's meant to be is meant to be, so to speak. That's the way he feels. So there is two ways looking at it, but I would be the sore loser where it would beat me up for 2 or 3 days, and I would probably get a wee bit annoyed and want to sit in my own and stuff and look at the highlights. And I remember coming back, message used to go to me, why are you watching your own highlights? You just played the match like an hour ago. Do you know what I mean?
No, I know what you
you're
mean.
watching yourself back again, but that's just the madness that you do.
I suppose your competitive side coming out in your else. Like me, if I do anything that's playing games or playing football, even if it's fireside on a Thursday night, if I lose in that fireside, like Nicole will tell you, like, that's my day ruined. Same with Coleraine lose, like no pressure or nothing, but it does ruin your mindset or ruin your mind for the couple of days because you are passionate about it.
I think that's a bit of my downfall, to be fair, as well, having the two kids.
Yeah.
Even anything you do, they're throwing, they're catching the ball, and you're just critical as hell, or you're always wanting them to do better. But I suppose if you're a sports person, you'll always be like that, I think.
It's a good father in you.
You have to set standards, you know.
No. What would you say would be your best high in your footballing career? It doesn't necessarily have to be Coleraine. It's just in general, since you started playing football, what would you say has been up there with your best moment?
Good question. I think all the natural ones come into effect, like the Maribor game and win the Irish Cup and stuff like that, and going close to the league once or twice. But I think for me, it was just development myself. I went from sort of just, I loved football when I was younger, didn't go across the water, and then sort of took a backward step and just fell into the old rut where you just hang about with your mates more often then because you know you're never going to play in England.
Yeah.
And then I sort of just huffed and puffed at teams like Carrick, Warren Point, Portadown, and never really took it serious, and went back and played Gaelic, went back and played football, and actually, if anything, it was Oren when I went to Coleraine, sort of just, I don't know what happened. He didn't put me in my place, but he sort of got me thinking in the right way of just being a wee bit more mature and actually taking this serious, and maybe you can do well for yourself. And my highlight would probably be having the conversation with him that day and actually signing for Coleraine, because since that's happened, I've changed massively, even outside of football, but definitely in football. He's definitely kickstarted my football career.
A guy in my chat, I don't know if you know him, Jude McVeigh, he runs the Niffle page on Facebook. He has said winning the Intermediate Cup with Carrick.
Actually had a decent year at Carrick.
Yeah.
I think my first year, although it was the lower cups and stuff and the low, but we won the championship, we won the intermediate, we won the Steelensons, and I think we were only beat once or twice. And even that year, I was sort of still playing Gaelic on the side. I remember first ever game for Carrick, we played Ards up at Taylor's Avenue or Lockshore Hotel, whatever it's called, and I actually had to pre-ask the manager could I leave to play a Gaelic match at half time. And about 16 minutes in, he kept me on because it was a must-win. It was Ards and Carrick were sort of going for the league, and he took me off for 60 minutes. And my mum was there in the car, and I jumped into the car, got changed into my Gaelic jersey, run up a road, and then come on and play the Gaelic match straight after. So that just goes to show you where my head was at.
Yeah, well, it's all turned out for the best, hasn't it?
That's it. You can't get on. Like, I don't think Oren would have put up with that, to be honest. So
yeah.
I had no choice to change my tune.
Speaking of Oren, I have a question to ask, and a lot of people say that. I've talked to a number of Korean players, even the likes of Stephen O'Donnell, my last events and stuff like that. What makes Oren that manager that everyone speaks so highly of? Obviously, he's a nice man, but is there something that stands out to you that everyone speaks so highly of him?
I don't know what it is, but he just. I think everyone, when they get asked this question, they sort of just go around in circles for 5-10 seconds to try and think of something to say. But he just has an aura about him. I mean, the best way I can relate to it, and it's probably not the best example, but I remember being in school and when the principal came in, everyone was just all ears and no one would ever disrespect him, and whatever he said, you believed in, and you just thought he was the head man and there was no one above him.
Yeah.
And I just think that's the way Oren is. I mean, no one would ever disrespect him. I've never seen a bust up in the change room in 4 years. I've never seen anyone even attempt to have a go.
Yeah, it's true, but even if you see him out and about, or even in the club shop and stuff, like I've took the wee one into the club shop and she was there with him, even like his personality and stuff, it's very approachable, and you wouldn't really, no matter what he done, you wouldn't really disrespect him, because it's as you say, it's hard to describe. But I think he's just a top man, top bloke.
If you even ask rival players and rival managers, 9 times out of 10, if you were to ask them, do you like another team's manager or whatever else, they'll probably say no.
Yeah.
Because he's always gullering on the pitch, or he's shouting at you and he's trying to get in your head. But with Warren, I think every player, every manager in the league love him just because of respect he shows. But probably the only people that don't like him is referees at the minute.
Yeah. Just before we get a couple of questions from the chat, I'll finish in the last one here. What's your thoughts on the season at the minute as a whole? Good, bad, average?
Roller coaster.
Roller coaster.
Just absolutely chaos. I mean, we started off awful.
Yeah.
Losing to Ballymena 1-0.
Yeah, that hurt.
And then I think that set the tone for the next month or two ahead, because I think we lost 5 games in the first 8 or 9 without scoring in all of them, which is unheard of. Like, we're usually good defensively. We usually do score in games. So I think that was a blow after the Maribor and the European sort of trips. So, but then from then on in, look at the character everyone's shown. We've got ourselves up to second, and everyone wrote us off. Everyone wrote the season off. So
I think it's like most teams at the minute. Even Lauren at the start, or Lauren were steamrolling, and then they had that wee blip. So it just goes to show you. I think with the COVID stuff and the no fans, it's having a wee bit of an effect.
I actually think you're right about the Lauren one. Few people already had them down win the league at one stage.
Yeah.
But I actually think, if like you mentioned fans there, I think clubs like Coleraine miss fans, and maybe clubs like Linfield in a way don't miss them because of the amount of pressure their fans put up them under.
Yeah, Coleraine fans are mad. They're a mad bunch. But
Coleraine fans will always support you.
Yeah.
Like 99 times out of 100 they'll support you, but with Linfield, I remember going to Windsor, and within 20-25 minutes, Linfield are 1-0 up, and the boos are coming out, and next thing the fans are getting on their case, which gives us an advantage. But this year they haven't had that, and I think their home record's phenomenal. I think they've been beat 1 game in 14 or 15 leagues. So it'd be nice for us to get the fans back, because I think they would have helped us in certain fixtures.
I think the bond that the Korean players have with the fans and stuff is very special. Like, even this event I've been doing, like, I've reached out to yourself and Ben, and I've had a few more Korean players, even the clubs get involved, and the club directors and stuff, just that, you know, that connection between us and the players is just, it's very rare to see that, because people ask me, why are you so obsessed with Korean, like, and why are you this, why that? It's like, it's because of that. You literally have a connection for it. What the players go through, you go through.
It sounds cheesy and stuff, but it does seem to be one big family. I mean, no one's bigger than the stewards, aren't bigger than the people who do the tea. The directors aren't bigger than the fans. It
Yeah.
just feels like a level playing field, and everyone plays their role.
As I say, I'll try not to keep you too long on that. Just a few questions from the chat, and then we can wrap it up. Sure. We have a question from Connor McCormick. Who was your idol growing up?
In what way? Football, does he mean? Or does he
We'll
mean...
go football. I didn't specify, but we'll go football just to see.
I don't know. To be honest, it's hard because I used to be a striker years back, and then I was a midfielder, and slowly, surely made my way back. So it's changed over the years.
Mhm.
But I would say just the latter. I would say all the left backs. Like I love left backs. I love
Yeah.
watching them. I love trying to take wee bits from their game or just see how they do things. And it probably would have been, or to host them, to be fair.
Mhm.
I don't support anyone in particular, so I don't have any pick, but I'd probably go for like Marcelo and Roberto Carlos,
Yeah,
Maldini, even a now Andy Robertson. I think he's probably one of the best left backs in the world. He's the type of player that people should be aspiring to if you're
I
trying to be a
started off
fullback.
left back as a child growing up, and I moved into centre mid as I got older. But no, I enjoy playing left back. It's good. It's hard work, but it's good fun.
I wish I wasn't a left back, to be honest. I'd love to be playing centre midfield.
Oh, enjoy it.
Scoring a few goals. But,
have you heard of the Coleraine FC account on Twitter? You're bound to have heard it in the Korean change rooms.
Of course I have. He's famous. He's world famous, that man.
He wants to know best place for a sunbed.
Best place for a sunbed. Belfast.
Belfast. What else have we got here? Were you going to say something there, Si?
You know, I slay again, boys up there. They're always telling me, why you tan on the sunbed shops closing. Just Colerane's about 10 degrees colder than Belfast, and people don't understand that.
It's Baltic down here. It snows. It's madness. Let me see what else we got here. Who would you say is the best player at Coleraine?
Whoa, put me on the spot there.
You can even go. You can even go. Just, you don't have to say an exact one, but.
No, there's two that stick out. There's actually a load that stick out. I'm lying. There's a load that stick out, but there's two in particular that I feel without them we would not struggle massively, but they have a big impact. I would say Stevie Laurie's one.
Oh yes,
I would have him in my Irish League select team if I had to pick one.
100%.
Jesus, I was thinking of one there, and I've changed my mind about 5 times because there's so many good players out the park. But I like Aaron Canning, and I like, to be fair, all the centre halves have helped me out a lot over the years.
Yeah, Cannon's a good.
Big G, Stevie, they've all been rock solid for me beside me. Even Adam Mullen there has played centre back as well. So, but I like the way Snowy plays. I like this composure, and I suppose after last season he would probably be right up there as well.
So who's the best player you've ever played with?
Played with? I don't know. I'll stick with Irish League because I don't want to go back and start telling people I played with someone when I was 12 for a half an hour. Do you know what I mean? And like a select team. I would say Irish League, best player I've played with. It probably would be Stevie Laurie, the way he's playing. I've never seen anyone play so consistently in the Irish League as him, and I don't think people understand how good he is until they actually play with him. He would be mine.
I have a good story about Larry. I played in a charity match up at Port Stewart. I can't remember what the charity was, but it was a couple. I think Lowry was there, McVeigh was there. There's a couple other boys there, but I remember because I played centre mid, I wore number 8, and Coleraine had give us old Coleraine shirts to wear. And so as soon as I ended the changing rooms, I didn't know what any of them boys were playing. I walked in and picked up the number 8, put it on. I got changed, and Stephen Laurie walks in. It must have been planned, but he walked in and goes, "Who the hell took my number 8 shirt?" Like, going really angry. And I was just sitting there going, "Oh shit, I have this." And I went up to him, I go, "Listen mate, I have it, you can have it back if you want." He goes, "No, I'm just winding you up." And then whenever you're walking out, he come up and whisper in my ear, "If you don't play well, son, you'll be getting wrecked." And I remember sitting there, it was only a charity match, but I remember me and Stephen Larry I was sitting playing midfield with him, I was just looking aside going, this guy's not even at 10%, and he's just making it look so easy.
He's been brilliant. I just think after every game, if it was me picking man of match, he would get it 9 times out of 10, and I think he's getting better with age. He's like a fine wine
I know.
at the minute.
But as I say, I think that's all the questions at the minute. There's just silly ones. Best chippy in Belfast. For me, it has to be Manny's.
Manny's is up there. Raffles,
He knows.
Raffles too.
Yeah.
Actually, a mate of mine, actually, his dad owns Manny's.
Mhm.
He actually used to play Irish League. Mark Clark, you've probably heard of him before. I think his dad owns Manny's, but Raffles is up there too. Don't forget about Raffles. None I'm about. What else is out there? Any more food questions? I'll give you all the answers.
Any more food questions? Give us discounts, Aaron.
Give us discounts.
Yeah, I look at some of your Instagram stories. Some of that food you put on is filth.
Oh, and I have to pay for it all. I don't get any discount myself. I need someone.
We need to get you a sponsor sorted, mate.
Definitely. Pizza sponsor.
We'll finish in this last one. This is from the famous Doc account. Does his Saturday night takeaway change if Coleraine win or lose?
Saturday takeaway. Sometimes if it's we've played well, I'll be a wee bit naughty or a wee bit cheeky and get an Indian, like a wee chicken jalfrezi or a garlic naan for it.
Oh, that's quality.
But it's usually stuck with pizzas. The pizzas have got me over the last 3-4 years with Coleraine, so I just stick with a Lucky Charm.
I'm a Goujon boy myself. I love a wee Goujon meal on a Sunday night after work.
Chicken Goujon.
Chicken Goujon, that's standard. I love a good pasta bake. The woman makes a good pasta bake.
So you can tell you're from Coleraine, all these here pasta bakes and chicken Goujons and stuff. You need to branch out.
Our takeaways in Coleraine are terrible, man.
I hope none of them are listening.
No, but to be fair, a lot of them have given me vouchers, but they're not terrible. They just offer up. They're all the same ones, if that makes sense.
Nah,
it's all chippies and Chinese if we don't have really much else to go for.
Belfast is blessed with them, to be fair, but I've been up to Coleraine, or we place Mona Lisa, I think it's called. We've went for a couple of pizzas after training.
Yes, I know it, yeah.
I think that's the only place I've really had in up there, apart from a couple of other places we've stayed over just when we were up celebrating the trophies or whatever. But
yeah,
it's not too bad. But as you say, if I was you, I'd be less pasta bakes, maybe more different takeaways.
More different takeaways. I'll definitely look into that one.
You watching the match today, are you?
I'm gonna try to, as I say, I'm streaming this 24 hours, so I'll maybe just put it on in the background because I can't play it on Steam because Twitch will probably ban me for it. But and I don't know the copyright reason behind it, but I'll probably get it and watch it in the background.
Good man. Well, hopefully we can get you a wee win then. And make us stay even sweeter for you.
Fingers crossed. As I say, thank you very much for your help. I just can't thank you enough for the whole. As I say, if you pass on a message to the boys, I say I don't know if Ben won't be travelling with you today, will he?
Nah, he's injured with COVID and stuff. He can't, so he'll probably be playing. He'll be on the PlayStation, I'm sure.
He's playing on my Warzone tournament tonight, so.
There you go.
As I say, pass on the message to the boys. Tell them thank you very much. I appreciate all the help and the support's been fantastic. But I will let you get on and get ready for today, mate.
Cheers, good man.
Right
here, unbelievable what you're doing. Fair play to you, mate. And I hope people start donating again.
Yeah.
Try and get you up to £1,000 mark. Well done, mate.
Thank you very much. Right.
Take care.
Good luck. See you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.